Welcome to Checks and Balances. I'm Michael Vincent. This is James Blair. And this week we've had the request. They wanted another round, so we'll do it again. Financial advisors react to TikTok financial advice.
So we are back. We enjoy all of the episodes that we film, but last time when we were with Dean and we reacted to the TikTok given on financial advice, I don't think I've laughed that hard in a while.
Yeah, no, it was a good one. And we had a lot of requests. Everyone loved it. A lot of requests for us to do it again. Yeah. So here we are with one more round of us reacting to, I called it financial advice at the top of the show, but that was a loose definition.
Yeah, let's jump straight into it with TikTok number one.
Hi, lovely house. I would like to buy it from you. Yeah, I'm asking $500,000 for it, but considering the car that you pulled up in, there's no way you can afford it. How about I pay you $550,000 for it? Yeah, right. You can just act as the bank and I'll pay you directly with a 1% down payment. I'll even pay you an interest rate of 8%. Well, how do I know you're actually gonna pay me? Here's a sales contract and a promissory note. If I default, then you can take back your home. And you're actually winning in these 3 different ways. Number 1, you get your cash flow each month without dealing with any of the headaches of managing your property. Number 2, you get a higher purchase price. And number 3, you won't get hit with a massive tax bill if you were to sell right now. Okay, sounds great. Where did you even learn about this? Give me a follow if you want to learn all things money and investing.
Yeah, so this one, right? Like this is just vendor finance. The real issue with this is I'm not saying vendor finance isn't a thing. Let's say you're selling your house, your one house, and someone comes to you and says, I will trickle in the money over 30 years. What are you going to, how are you going to pay off the bank? What are you going to do? It just doesn't work like that. The concept of vendor finance is a thing, but yeah, look, in the residential retail market, you are dreaming.
You can imagine this dude going up to a real estate agent, pitching it, and just being like, all right, mate.
Yeah.
We're in just like a normal 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. Who do you think these people are that own this house?
Yeah, and I think, again, with this sort of TikTok financial advice, a lot of it is just people taking financial concepts that, apply in really specific situations and just being like, you can apply this to anything and it'll work. No, that's not how real life works.
And yeah, here are all the benefits. And it's like, well, this is just not realistic.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, that's not going to work.
Yeah. The other probably very concerning thing, which is definitely a trend, is 2.4 million followers.
Yeah, well, hey, look, again, if you give obscure advice, obscurity invites people into watch, right? And, yeah, I guess vendor finance is a bit of an obscure topic.
All right, let's move on to number 2.
Hey, someone just commented saying that they're going to buy a house next year. You have any advice?
Yes, do not put a down payment on the house if you're not required to. It could cost you millions of dollars.
Why?
Let me show you. Always do the smallest down payment possible. As an example, you're 25 years old buying your first house at 3% interest. You're going to do a 20% down payment like everyone tells you. That's $60,000. Your monthly mortgage is $1,000. You're going to pay around $124,000 of interest and your house is paid off. But what did you get? Zero compounding, zero retirement income. Let's do it my way. Smallest down payment, let's say 3%, $9,000 going to down payment, but now you have $51,000 to compound, $1,200 a month in mortgage, and you're going to pay this much interest, a little bit more, but your house is still paid off. But now you have up to $894,000 in compounding, $89,000 tax-free retirement income, and up to $3 million in total retirement income. I'm Curtis Ray. Seriously, always be compounding.
And I'm Michael Vincent. Always be lying. No, look, I'm not saying he's lying. The math might work. Look, in New Zealand, that's not going to work. You can't put a 3% down payment on a house here. It just, nah.
Yeah. I'm going to chuck it all in an index fund. There's so many things wrong. So, Mike, minimum deposit required?
Yeah. Look, in certain circumstances in New Zealand, 5%, but that's a really niche loan, first home buyer. You can't get a second loan with 5% deposit and these sorts of things. You're going to need 10% minimum pretty much. 20% if you don't want to pay low equity premiums, low equity margins, 0.75%, these sorts of things.
And the always compounding thing, right? So interest on the mortgage is also compounding in the opposite way. So if you invest the money into if you're always compounding and investing at 8% and you're making a return, that's great. But then you've also got to take off tax, you've got to take off fees, but then you've got to take off inflation because you're not spending the money now, which gets you to a real rate of return of 3 or 4%. Mortgage rates are 6%. Now, if you leave that...
Your mortgage rate is not going to be 6% because the market rate is 6%. You're going to be 6.75% with the minimum deposit. So again, you've got to beat that. You've got to beat the market rate plus a penalty interest.
Very good point. And then so if you have a bigger mortgage with a higher interest rate, yeah, you're compounding over here, but you're paying more interest over here. So the net financial position, she doesn't add up. Mate, you look like you're going to play a round of golf. How about you go and hang out on the 19th hole?
All right, let's do it again.
All
Next
right,
one.
number 3.
If you're under 25 and you're driving a $100,000 car, what do you do?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. This is my 2021 Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and I have a 2021 Ford Raptor, a 2021 Tesla Model X, and a 2023 Black Badge Rolls-Royce Cullinan that comes this month. I do Airbnb, and not in the traditional way that most people know and do Airbnb. See, the way that I do Airbnb is a model called Airbnb Arbitrage, where you don't need to own property, you don't need great credit, and you don't need a ton of upfront capital to get started. The money that I've made from Airbnb has allowed me to retire both of my parents, pay off all student debts, afford all these toys, and have a lot of what I call fuck you money. If you want to learn how you can do the same exact thing that I did with no secrets, hit that follow button on IG at Mr4to8, and I will show you how. I make videos every day.
You want to go? Or you want?
I mean, it's illegal. Like, imagine if I was like, and as part of your financial plan, we're going to invest into selling meth. Like, it's just like, it's illegal. I mean, in New Zealand, it's illegal.
To be fair, if you had to choose between Airbnb arbitrage and drug arbitrage, I would probably better impacts on society with the Airbnb. But you're right, both are illegal. And why is it illegal? Because, like, if you're a landlord, so Airbnb arbitrage, Mike, do you want to...
Yeah, right. So Airbnb arbitrage is when you don't actually own the house. You take out a long-term, like you would just rent a house, like 12 months, 2 years, these sorts of things. Instead of living in it, you rent it out on Airbnb. Yeah. Airbnb arbitrage, again, it's illegal.
So if you were the landlord, right? And if you're like, I'm going to rent Mike my place. Mike seems like a pretty good guy. I know that Mike's going to be living in there with his partner and that's it. And then Mike turns around and then rents it out to 150 people over the year. How do you think the landlord's going to be feeling about that setup?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like it just, this is not advice. Like you can't just tell people to go do illegal stuff. I don't know how it is in the States, but imagine if I was like, James, you drive a $100,000 car and you're under 25. What do you do? And you're like, it's called a Ponzi scheme, right? Like it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, Airbnb arbitrage, bro.
Yeah.
Great marketing though. Like the pop up of the car beforehand, and like just the marketing piece is very smart. But
I guess the thing here is, right, you can get someone who's good looking in front of some expensive stuff to say just about anything, and people will watch it, right? Because that is what he's pitching this at is, that, I don't know, like 18, 20, younger sort of audience. Like, if you're good looking and you're standing in front of a Rolls Royce, you can say pretty much anything to them. They're going to be like, yeah, cool. Like, I'll give it a go, I guess.
This comes back to that get rich quick thing though. It's like, is this sustainable, especially in New Zealand? Hell no. You're just not going to get ahead in life with these kind of get rich quick, not trying to put in the work type schemes.
I will say though, just after I wrote off everyone at 20 to 25 or something, like a lot of the comments on this are like, yeah, bro, tell me more.
Yeah. Once again, scary 1.1 million followers.
Yeah.
This guy's so good. We've got a second video of his, so let's bring it up.
If this is on your For You page, then you've made it to the investing side of TikTok. We don't skate around listening to dreams. We chase them and make them a reality. On this side of TikTok, you will learn how to invest in the stock market, real estate, art, trading cards, and most importantly, yourself. You are the single greatest investment. If you don't want to retire a multimillionaire, keep scrolling. But if you are ready to become financially free, comment on this video, hit the link in my bio, and let's get rich together.
This is like Mike Vincent's chat at the pub at 4 p.m. on a Friday. Just no substance whatsoever. It's a lot of fun, but there's just nothing behind it.
Yeah, like, again, like, you know what? But I think here's a really key point with this video. What he's asking you to do here is give him more income by just subscribing, liking, and commenting. And that is the crux of this entire thing. Don't get me wrong. He might be Airbnb arbitraging something and making money. He might have invested in the stock market. Yeah, great. Most of the income from these guys comes from their social media presence and the money they make off that.
Yeah,
It's that simple.
They're trying to prey off building a following of people who don't want to do the work and just want to get ahead and win the lotto.
But some of it is just so ridiculous on purpose so that you will watch it, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing in here. It's just like, hey, let's get rich together.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's getting rich together, but he's the one getting rich and you're just watching the video.
What do you think about investing into your biggest asset?
Well, actually, my biggest asset was the trading cards. I got a 1996 hologram Charizard that, well, you know the value.
Yeah. I think, this is more in like the NFT space, but I think it was Logan, one of the Paul brothers, bought a NFT for $650,000 and it's dropped to $10 in value.
Yeah. I mean, like, the other thing that was like celebrity shilling stuff like that is pretty common and unfortunately kind of, almost predatory, I'd say. But yeah, look, there's nothing here. It's just rubbish.
I mean, there was literally nothing in the video. It was just a bunch of buzzwords.
Yeah.
But hey, if you want to learn how to trade trading cards, go for gold.
I'm going to show you guys 3 stocks that I used to go from $200 to $50,000. By the way, this prop money, you best believe I'm not selling my stocks. Starting with number 3, this is AFA. It's a weed stock. I bought it at $8 a share, and with Democrats in office and legalizing marijuana, I think it still has room to grow. Stock number 2 is Zillow, and with interest rates being so low, a lot of people have been buying houses, which is why I assume it's skyrocketed up, but we don't expect interest rates to go back down until maybe 2023, so I think it still has room to grow too. Number 1 is Tesla. It's my favorite stock of all time. I have $29,000 just in Tesla because it's my favorite. I think it'll eventually hit $2,000 with all the innovation they're doing, so I think it still has room to grow, but I bought this one at $200 last year. Just remember, it's not too late to invest. I started with $200, so you can do it too. Follow to learn more.
Financial advice out of a car on TikTok.
My favorite.
What do you reckon, Mike?
Yeah, look, you shouldn't be getting your financial advice off TikTok, fine, but if you are getting it off TikTok, maybe don't get it from someone in a car. What I love about this video, though, is actually because this was made 12 months ago, we can review exactly how her predictions went. So, James, the weed stock, which she may have been smoking a little bit too much of when she was giving out this advice, how's it going?
Well, bruh, unfortunately, it's not going well. It's down 12% since over the past 12 months, which 12% as a number by itself, you're probably like,
not
could be
bad.
worse.
The issue is that people leverage up to get these stocks. If you look at the comments underneath the video, it's like, jump in my chat room, jump in my chat room. When you jump in these chat rooms, it's leverage. Go full tilt on the leverage, YOLO it and see what happens. If you're leveraged and you do that, I hope you got a stop loss in place. James, the next stock, Zillow, how are we going?
Yeah, a lot worse than I probably would prefer the weed. It's gone from $100 down to $28, which is a 67% drop over 12 months. So that one hurts a lot. And once again, coming back to probably the people that are listening to this advice, they're looking to get rich quick and to lose 70% of what you invested quick. That's not a lot of fun.
Not at all. James, let's hit a home run. Stock number 3, Tesla. How's it going?
I know you're a big Elon Musk fan.
I know.
I mean, so she invested with it when it was at $200. It then got to $400. Now it's back at $200.
Yeah.
So it's down 30% over the past 12 months. I really don't know what to say.
Yeah, look, and here's one of the things about investing, and especially investing in the stock markets. During a bull run, it is very easy to confuse luck with skill. And a lot of people will be like, it is my skill. I picked the stock. I knew it was going to happen. I'm better than the market. A lot of the time, that is a complete lie. Even professional investors, a lot of the time, it was a complete lie. If you weren't making money on stocks over the last 3 years, and probably the biggest bull run we've had in a long time, you're probably a bit of a joke.
It's, just straight to the point, not mucking around. It's also unfortunately tied a lot with when these online apps, these share trading apps have come out, like the Robinhoods and the Sharesies. So investing has become easy. Then we've had one of the greatest points in history. It's gone really, really well. And then unfortunately, off the back of it, it's not gone really well. And once again, it is not about getting rich quick. If you're getting your financial advice on investing into the share market off somebody in their car pitching weed stocks, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, look, and here's the really frustrating thing here. If you look at the comments, it is, I'm just getting started. How do I get started? I've got some money I want to invest in all these sorts of things. Everyone is looking for the silver bullet. Everyone is looking for the get rich quick scheme. You are not going to find it online. That, it is about small, consistent steps over time. Don't get me wrong. Some people have got very rich off these meme stocks, these quick investments, these sorts of things. The majority of people are left holding the bag and lose a lot of money. Those are the people you don't see. Yeah, there's some stuff on Reddit like, oh, I lost all this money. All right, it's a bit of a joke. Yeah, no, it's not a joke. If you lose $100,000, you got to come back from that. That is a very serious thing.
It's gambling. It's definitely gambling. So let's wrap it up there. They are all of our TikToks. The main thing, please don't get your advice off TikTok. Go and see a professional. Also, the other thing is make sure to be investing into diversified funds. Make sure to be thinking about your goals, how you're going to achieve them. Investing into, and this is probably a really quick point to touch on before we wrap up, Mike. Investing into the share market if you're going to be buying your first home soon.
Yeah, so we actually had a joint customer of ours recently, and she got some financial advice from another investment house after she came to us because that broker there was terrible. And she was buying a house in the next 12 months. They told her to put it into a fund, which, look, that timeline just does not match up.
No, she lost like 20%, and now you're trying to do some pretty complicated stuff to get this mortgage over the line.
Yeah, so look, it is about investing in the right things, right timeline, think about the risk, think about all that sort of thing. Don't get it off TikTok, get a professional to sort you out.
So if you're thinking, what might be a good resource to get my kind of financial literacy, financial education, hit the subscribe button. Please make sure to give us a review. We'll see you next week for another episode.
Cheers.